back to our episode Rewind where we talk about the Blacklist. Yes. It's finally back, and tonight we're going to be talking about episode 9, the director, basically the conclusion of this long, exonerate Liz, whole big deal. I'm Wendy.
I'm Dustin.
We're so excited to talk to you. So Dustin, let's just jump right into it. What was your overall impression of this episode?
Awesome episode. Everything was wrapped up in a lovely box.
Yes.
And there were so many things. Everything just finally got concluded and all the answers. And it was just beautifully done. You come out of this just going, yeah. Go team.
Yeah.
Go team Reddington.
I love that it picked up exactly where we left off, obviously. And it was funny, too, right before it came back on, I was like, God, I don't remember what happened last season. I'm going to have to rewatch all this. And then they kicked it right off, and it all came back just like that. And like you said, it just wrapped everything up in a nice little bow. Certain things were a little convenient, but you know what? This was such a long, dragged-out thing that I was so satisfied with this episode that I can overlook those things. So when we're going to start nitpicking about this episode, you want to go ahead and go into the positives?
Well, honestly, everyone had a great moment in this, except for Dembe. Even Dembe at the very end had a cool moment
for him, yeah,
where he was walking out. But everyone was, Aram, Navabi, everyone. There was still, because Wrestler is still one of my least liked. I'd have to say out of everyone, least liked favorite character, liked character. But even seeing him turn around and come, just get in there and kick some ass was really cool.
Any other positives you have for the episode?
Well, what did you think about them spreading everything out with all the different characters?
I did like that everybody had their own highlight parts in the episode. There was we've got Liz, and then the director coming in, and first it looked like it was going to be this whole big mess, and Liz kind of knew that she was going to die, if this went on. But and I'll say what I was about. It just almost just came out of my mouth, but I'll save it for the negatives. The positives, obviously Navabi was fired from the task force. Pretty sure she's going to get put back on within the next couple episodes. But I loved the Reddington-Navabi team up.
Oh my gosh, when they were planting the crime scene. The
crime scene montage was the best.
What was it? Well, right before he said it, I was like, he's got to be having fun. And then he comes out of the car the next scene when they're starting to set it up. He goes, this is fun.
Yeah, he had some just cocaine stashed in his little, storage area. And I love that. Just these team of people that Reddington is always able to just pull out of his pocket is fantastic. His resources are sometimes just seem so endless. I loved that we were finally able to see what was in that damn care package.
Oh my gosh.
Because for almost a whole, first half of the season, it's like, what's in it? And I don't remember exactly, but in the last episode, where it was the King of the Highway or the Knights of the Highway or something like that, where the guy opened it and he saw it and it didn't shimmer and glow in his face, and I was like, what is in there?
I had the Quentin Tarantino Pulp Fiction bag.
Right, and I was like, what is this, gold? And you find out that it's these chrome plates where you can just print as much money. Yeah, who wouldn't be happy to be receiving those as a bargain? Let me see what else. I wrote all this down. I think, so yes, the Navabi thing. Okay, I think the main highlight of this episode, yes, it's great that they exonerated Liz. Yes, the cabin face-off scene and then finally taking down Mr. Solomon, a.k.a. Babyface Killer, was fantastic. But the MVP of this entire episode is Aram.
Oh my God, that scene with him and...
Give this man a TV Oscar. What the heck is that called? An Emmy. My God.
Just wrung your heart. Seeing him just go through this, and he fought it to the very, very, very end.
And he struggled with that decision. No, I am not opening this door. I don't care. And the second he saw that Liz was probably going to die and she would have died, and all of it would have been for nothing. Then the director would have won. So he did what he did, and he opened the door.
I loved Reddington's speech to him.
Yeah, at the grave. It was really touching, and I'll let you talk about that. I love that the code was Navabi. It showed that no matter what he was put through, what she kind of did with Wrestler, broke his heart, he cared for her. And the best part of this whole Aram praise is him didn't even care about himself wanting to kill the director in front of everyone. He would have been shot too right afterwards, and he didn't care. Just shows how much he really cares for Liz, how much he believes that she is not really in the wrong. She was being framed for this whole thing. He wants to help her clear her name. It was really the best. And you want to talk about Reddington's
And when it came
speech?
down to it, that he was willing to do that sacrifice for her, and that was the only thing that he could do, and he would have done it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
Yeah.
And seeing that, when Reddington meets him at the grave, you're like, wait a second, this is kind of, why would he do anything bad to him?
Right.
But that thought was still in your head, and it wasn't Aram's head.
Aram's always like a little skittish. I mean, when you're coming around Reddington, I feel like, unless you're Elizabeth, you're always a little... He's off-putting.
Yeah,
you don't know what he's thinking.
But that beautiful speech that he gave about why the open grave is more endearing to Aram is just how you see it well up in Reddington.
It's so heartfelt, and I felt like I saw even Reddington's nose turn a little red. Like he was getting...
You saw it under the eyes.
Ah, so good. And I love that this is like the first episode back from the winter break, and... where do you go from here? Like, what is next? They go
exactly where they said they were going to go.
Oh, that's right.
Let's go get the Cabal.
We're going to get the Cabal. We're going to take them down.
Yeah. You know how you felt sometimes if you watched Avengers?
Yeah.
The first Avengers, there's just those moments where you jump out of your seat. You're like, yeah! I was jumping out of my seat for this one. This was a good guys kick ass throughout the entire episode.
Yes.
It was a huge victory.
Yeah, it was. And that's why I said that I cared about this one so much, because it was the end of, Liz being on the run finally, and it took 9 episodes to get to, that there were some things that were a little too convenient that I was like, I'm going to let it slide. And I guess with that we can go into the negatives. Certain timing were convenient. Harold coming right back when Solomon had Tom at gunpoint. The fact that they gave Karakurt a gun and he still didn't shoot them, where he could have shot Tom.
It kind of makes sense.
But it makes sense. He had to change. Yeah, and I understand what Karakurt did, what he did, and I like that. Another thing is that this is a huge, gunfight between the Cabal and Tom Wrestler, and like 3 men versus like an army of people. Nobody really got hurt.
Yeah, no wounds, no grazes.
Right.
I guess
no one lost their lives. Like I was talking to you. I was like, Tom's gonna die. Tom's gonna die. I
thought someone was gonna die in this.
Nobody died. I was worried for Aram for a little bit, and I was like, maybe the director will finally be taken down by Aram, and it would have been satisfying too. Pennebaker, when she showed up, so convenient, perfect timing. Yeah. But like I said, now we're really nitpicking at it.
But loved that character.
She's great. She's sassy. She's spicy.
I need to come here more often.
I am really looking forward to... And do you have any negatives? Sorry, before I move on?
I couldn't really think of very many negatives. Before we started, I was like, what could I pick? Even the ones that you picked out didn't really bother me.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. It wasn't... It's convenient, but it's not that bad.
It's the whole idea of at the last moment. The only reason why it happened was because they were held out just long enough. Yeah.
It was just enough, so it was perfect. And moving forward, now Reddington's he's like, get the team ready. We are gonna go get the Cabal, because now they know. Pennebaker knows. Wrestler knows. Not only what's her name, Laurel, killed Reverend Wright, and that now she is definitely a part of the Cabal. They have Solomon in custody.
I don't know if Solomon's going to get out. I think he's going to get out.
Probably, but he's an interesting... I
don't know. All my theories have been wrong ever since.
But he's an interesting character. When a villain can make me or the viewers hate him so much, I love it, because they're doing what they're supposed to do, the actors, and that's just like he's come a long way since his Twilight days.
Oh my gosh! When he walked into his prison cell. The arrogance, the just oozing off of him. But then there was just a little bit of a crack in it. Yeah. When he sat down and you saw him starting to, how am I going to get out of here?
Like slightly unsure. For the first time ever. Slightly unsure. So I'm really looking forward to next week already. I don't even know the schedule. Too. I hope they don't take another break right away. Because sometimes they do that, but I hope not.
Season breaks always throw me off. It makes me go... Wait a second. We needed a review, and if there wasn't that review at the very beginning, I think we both would have been.
I feel like there may have been one. I remember seeing on the Blacklist Twitter that there was like one, but we don't have cable. We just watch it off the internet, so
yeah.
You know. What are you looking forward to in the episodes to come?
The next step, which is them just hunting down the Cabal, and that could be the whole rest of the season, or the whole rest of the season could be them taking down one part of the Cabal.
Right, a little pluck them off at the time. Oh, okay. One last thing, and then we'll do our outro. Is we still don't know the relationship between Reddington.
Oh my God, they teased it.
And the director said it. And he goes, "So what is it with you and Reddington? I mean, he follows you around like a bloodhound." And I'm like, so is he taunting her, or does he not know either?
I don't think. And now that you mentioned it, at first I thought he did know.
Intrigue.
But then I'm like, wait a second, no, he didn't.
Yeah.
And he was then just kind of, wow, sucks to not know.
Yeah.
And you're gonna die.
And you're gonna die now. Oh my God, it was great. I love this episode. Probably my favorite by far. I feel like I say that after every but I do really like it, and I think the writers and the performers, the actors, everybody is just doing a phenomenal job. So I can't wait till next week. And you guys, thanks for tuning in to our episode Rewind. We're so happy to be back, and we hope you join us next week. So you can find me on social media on Instagram and Twitter at Wendy Lee Zaney.
And you can find me on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook at Dustin Zaney.
All right, you guys. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you next week.